Name one other person you would rather have at the bat than Kyle Schwarber in that situation. Unfortunately, he fails to get it done. But the Phillies go down 11-9 in 10 innings to Arizona as we welcome you to Phillies Postgame Live, presented by Cure Auto Insurance. Ricky Pitalico, I'm Michael Barkan, John Kruk in just a moment. Ricky Bo, when you look at this, 11-9 score, you think about Ranger Suarez.
Yeah.
He started the first 2 innings plus very, very well, then led in the runs. The bullpen, Jose Alvarado in particular. The bullpen pitched well till they got to Alvarado and then Carlos Hernandez.
No, the bullpens for both sides were awful. I mean, in all reality, when you really look at it, I mean, you think about what situations they were in late in the game. I would not have put Alvarado back for a second inning. And the reason why I say that is when you watched his first inning, he wasn't on top of his game in that first inning. So you thought to yourself, okay, Rob's going back with him again. And the first thing I thought was that this is not good. I mean, usually when a guy doesn't have his stuff, it doesn't miraculously appear in the next half inning. And it didn't for Alvarado. Alvarado was kind of all over the place. He wasn't spotting his pitches. And quite frankly, didn't have a lot of life like he normally does on his pitches. But you know what? You look over at Shelby Miller, and he was awful. I mean, as far as Beeks, the pitcher for the Diamondbacks in the last half inning, throw strikes. I mean, it's kind of a weird situation. You're going into a game up 3 runs, and instead of throwing strikes right away, you get the 2-0 where you have to throw one down the middle of the plate. It makes absolutely no sense, but I think they go like analytically involved. If the pitch is the pitch, you keep throwing that pitch until it works for you, and sometimes it puts you in a big hole. And I think that's what happened where the Phillies ended up having an opportunity late in that ball game in the 11th or the 10th inning. But it is what it is. You end up with a loss. It turns out the same. Ranger, like you brought up Ranger, and I thought he was good the first 2 innings. I'm like, wow, we got the old Ranger back. And then it looked like he just ran out of gas. And that's a weird thing to say because he's been in spring training. He's been on rehab assignment. And then all of a sudden he gets here and he wasn't prepared to go over 40 pitches, it looked like.
Yeah, let's go across the street for the crossover presented by Chapman Auto Stores. Here's John Kruk, called today's game with Tom McCarthy. John, you know, it was 11-9, and unfortunately they failed to get it done in the 10th inning. But where do you think it came down to with this game? Where was this loss when you look at innings 1 through 10?
Oh, my gosh.
There was so much, John, in this game.
In the middle of the game, it got really sloppy, you know, with Perdomo taking third base, with Ranger on the mound, and no one even recognized he was running until he was sliding into third. That's a big faux pas for me. But, you know, it seemed like as soon as Ranger got into the stretch, his command got very bad. And, you know, give Arizona credit. They did put some good swings on him, but they had good pitches to hit, too, when they got ahead in the count. So, you know, look, we need Ranger. We know that. But, yeah, it just seemed like to me, like I said, as soon as they got guys on base and he had to go from the stretch, he just wasn't the same.
You know what, John? You go to Alvarado in the 9th inning. He didn't look like he was on top of his game in the 9th inning. And quite frankly, I'm not so sure I would have put him out there for the 10th in this one. Is that just being short in the bullpen?
Yeah, I think because Tanner Banks pitched back-to-back games, he wasn't available. And, you know, Taiwan wasn't supposed to be in the bullpen. They said probably Tuesday he would be back in the bullpen. And, you know, he was trying to get ready out there in the 10th inning. But, yeah, I mean, you know, Jose just lost the strike zone a little bit. And, you know, I've always been a firm believer that, you know, when you throw triple digits, that's a pretty darn good pitch. And, you know, I forget which – he walked someone with a 3-2 cutter, I think. So,
yeah, he loves to go to that cutter.
Yeah, and it's a good pitch for him when you get guys in swing mode. But you know, he couldn't get those guys, a couple of those hitters in swing mode. So yeah, you know, like I said, 98 to 100 is a pretty damn good pitch if you ask me. What is it? Is it or isn't it?
No,
Who knows
I'm just
anymore?
saying, like what is the rule? I mean, can you block it or can't you?
Well,
I don't know. We saw one in spring training where they weren't blocking anything, and they called the guy out for blocking the. I think Trey got called on it once in spring training for blocking the base. I don't think anyone knows, and it's just special times that we have here in baseball when you can sit in that dugout for 162 games, and at the end of the season, you still don't know what the damn rule is.
Well, they don't know the error rule either anymore, apparently.
No. Oh, God,
well, there is no error rule. There are no errors. Everybody's great.
Yeah.
It's all about hits. The pitchers
best defense
pitchers take
in
it on the
baseball
chin.
history.
Let the ERAs go up and up. And speaking of that, Ranger Suarez in his debut, he was perfect into the third inning, which is not nothing in Major League Baseball. You talked about him pitching out of the stretch. What do we expect from him? Do we think it's just a matter of conditioning at this point, and should he have been better conditioned for this?
I think he was ready. He did have some longer outings. They were hoping to get him 90 pitches today, but the Diamondbacks had something else to say about that. And I just don't know. I'm like we've seen it with some of the other starters for the Phillies. Like something about the third inning. I don't know what the heck it is, but once it got to that third inning, and you thought, okay, Rangers, cruising. Changeup was good. The breaking ball was good. He threw a couple really slow breaking balls that had the Diamondbacks hitters way out in front. And you think, all right, we're back to seeing Ranger. And then the third inning hit, and now you're wondering, okay, wait, he probably needs a few more outings to get his feet wet. And even though he's a veteran pitcher, but maybe he saw, hopefully his next start he pitching out of the stretch, he has more command.
Yeah, we'll see what happens next start. I thought it was interesting that there's Taijuan Walker waiting to come in the game. This guy has pitched fairly well as a starter, relegated the bullpen. Lastly, third straight home series where they've won the first two games and failed to get the third win, which is it's crazy. Anything to be read into there? It's just one of those things. I
have no idea how this happens, but they had a chance against Washington to step on their throats, and they lost the third game of that series. And then they had a chance with Arizona today, and they still had chances to win even when they got down, and they fought back. And I don't know. I guess it is hard to sweep someone, but you win the first two, man. You want that third one, and that's what I always hated when we won a series. But you had a chance to sweep the series. Don't be just content with just winning the series. Once you win the series, sweep the series. Yeah. And they just the last two series they haven't been able to do that.
All right, Johnny. Thanks so much. We'll see you in a week or so. Yep. Appreciate it always, John Kruk. All right. Frustrating loss for the Phillies today, trying to sweep out the Arizona Diamondbacks. It does not happen. Off day tomorrow, and then they head down to Tampa. Here's Rob Thompson on the game.
Ranger looked good those first two innings. Yeah. What did you see from him after that?
It just looked like he lost his command getting out of the stretch, leaving his breaking ball up a little bit, change up. I thought the stuff was good, and the command was really good in the first two innings with his fastball, and he's throwing his breaking ball down in the zone. They were, got some swing and misses and foul balls on it. So, first two innings were good.
Not being able to go five today, how much of a bind did that put you in?
Yeah, bullpen did a great job. Really did. Everybody. And they're a little bit taxed right now. Thank God we've got the day off tomorrow. Then we'll regroup on Tuesday.
Any thought to going Walker in the fifth there? Would have been his normal day anyway.
He was an emergency guy today. And he had thrown a little bit of a bullpen prior to the game, so he was willing to go out there and take down some extra innings if we needed him.
How much does the workload of Alvarado concern you?
Yeah, it does. I mean, with all the guys, really. If we have to give him a couple of days after that today, then we will. That's what we did the last time we used him 2 innings.
With Ranger, how much of that out of the stretch do you think might have been rust, or was it just a lack of command?
Maybe a little bit of rust. I don't think he had many base runners when he did his rehab start. So, but I mean, he's better than that, and he will be.
Arguing in
the seventh there about maybe blocking the base.
Yes, but you're not supposed to argue that. So, no.
From your vantage point, I know Carroll's a really fast runner. If that play's executed perfectly, do you guys have a chance of executing that double play?
Yes. Yeah, Stoddy had a little tough time getting out of his glove, and then Trey had a tough time getting out of his glove too. But normally that's double play ball.
Going back to the strikeout wild pitch, did you like that JT took the gamble to try to stretch out to third there? Or how did you?
Well, you never want to make the third out at third base. So, and he knows it. You know, he came in. He was mad at himself for doing that. But
Before the game about Bryce, you see, he homered obviously.
Yeah.
Did you see any good signs of the side of that?
Yeah, the homer, and he had another base hit, and you know, I thought he was a lot better today.
Ball had his first extra base hit in like 2 weeks. Do you see any signs of him maybe getting the driving the ball, getting the ball in the air a little more?
He had a ball last night that I thought had a chance to go out, and he's hit a couple of balls like that lately. So hopefully it's coming.
Kepler's had a lot of success against Rodriguez. Did he push to get in the lineup today at all? And secondly, what goes into the decision to when you'll play left-handed hitters versus left-handed pitchers, especially today where a guy maybe isn't as strong against lefties as another lefty might be?
Who's that? Rodriguez? He's pretty good against lefties.
Career-wise, they're about the same both hands.
Well, lately he's been pretty good against lefties, but again, I want to get these other guys some work too. And Kep's had some good numbers against Rodriguez, but you know, day off's not going to hurt him. I want to keep him right where he's at because he's in a really good spot.
What do you think of? Go ahead. What do you think of Wilson's day coming through against right there at the home run?
Yeah, that was huge. You know, he feasted on a kind of a hanging breaking ball, and was hoping he'd do the same thing the second time, but he didn't get it done. But our guys battled. They did a great job.
To keep one eye on that runner
Yeah.
because you're the one who's got to cover the bag if he goes.
I know it. But we've
it was-
seen these kind of miscues involving lack of communication this year, Ricky Bo.
Yep.
Here's the season debut for Ranger Suarez.
Well,
3 and 2
Paco
thirds, 7
figured-
hits, 7 earned runs.
Paco Figueroa gets all the credit from the infielders when credit is due, right? Well, you know what? Maybe he should have a nice talk to him on certain plays like that they have to communicate better.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to hear from Ranger Suarez in a few moments about his start. And the shame of it is he looked good. He looked great for the first 3 innings, 2 innings plus.
I'm telling you, I think that's just good old-fashioned I ran out of gas. And it was about the 40 pitch mark. I remember thinking to myself,
Why the
what is
stretch,
going
though?
on?
Why did the stretch cause such problems?
It shouldn't, because it's the most natural way to pitch. When you really think about it, it's the most simplified way to pitch. Maybe he just wasn't getting a good push off. Maybe he wasn't driving with his back leg. Sometimes you get lazy with your back leg and you're not finishing your pitches. I mean, this seems either very mechanical or just he got tired.
Yeah. And
it could have been. Maybe there was obviously, you're pitching your first game. You have that big adrenaline rush, and you try to keep it down. But when you're going so well early on, it's almost like, ooh, look at me. I'm back to early last year. And then all of a sudden, 15 minutes later, oh, it's the end of last year now.
yeah.
Not good.
Let's go to Rangers Suarez in the clubhouse postgame.
You lost some command. Is that maybe an effect of not having pitched from the stretch a lot in your minor league rehab games?
Tal vez perdí el manejo, tal vez perdí un poquito de comando saliendo del lado cuando había un corredor en base, que sí, eso puede ser por no haber pichado en un buen rato.
No, creo que estaba cuando estaba del lado, estaba sobretirando la bola. Yo creo que eso fue lo que pudo haber sido, porque dígame, allá en AAA piché más que todo fue del lado para sentirme mejor.
Yeah, no, I think it was more that I was overthrowing the ball a little bit from the stretch, and I think that was a thing that could have affected my command, because I was practicing that throwing from the stretch mostly during the rehab start. So.
Why do you think you overthrew? Just pumped up in the moment, or?
No, solo quería como haciendo eso, quería como que sobretirar la pelota, quería hacer más de lo que tenía, entonces yo creo que eso fue lo que me ganó.
I think it's just from the stretch I was trying to do a little too much. So I was throwing the ball, obviously trying to do too much, a little more than what I had for today.
Was there anything you liked about your outing, at least maybe from the first few innings?
Algo que te haya gustado de tu primera salida.
No, que me sentí, o sea, a pesar de que no me fue bien porque se hicieron todas esas carreras, tuve un par de boletos, pero mira, me sentí bien y todo lo que me llevo de lo bueno es que todo está bien.
Yeah, but, besides obviously the runs scored, like runs allowed, and a couple of walks that we had today. I mean, I think that what I take from today is that I feel fine and that things were working out. Like
6th home run of the season for Harper, his first since April 18th. Does this signify that maybe all the troubles are behind him?
I wouldn't put it that far, but I mean it's a good sign. I mean, anytime you get that off of your back and out of your shoulders, I think you're in really good shape. Sometimes you end up, putting too much pressure on yourself to hit the home runs, to have those big hits all the time, and then one kind of just falls into your lap, and you're like, I still got it. I mean, come on. There's a doubt that comes into everybody's mind here and there. Like, do I still have the pop? Do I still have this? Do I still have that? Do I have the coordination, the timing? Do I have the strength? All of a sudden you hit one, you're like, oh, it's still there. I got it.
Still there. Bryce Harper's still there too. Here he is in the clubhouse post game.
Put good wood on one of that last at bat there. Did you, off the bat, you feel like that was potentially a better result or what?
No, I mean, he got in on me a little bit. Just frustrated I can't come through right there. Obviously a good moment and good opportunity right there, and just couldn't get it done.
You guys did have some better at-bats against the bullpen as the game went on today. Just what do you think of the way the offense was able to put it together as the game went on?
Yeah, I thought we fought. That's what you want. I think we could have laid down and just said, hey, we won the series already, and we didn't do that. So just really good, hard fought. I know we lost, but I thought we fought till the end.
You've been doing a lot of tinkering of late, which I think you do sometimes. Kind of what are you feeling of late, and what do you kind of make of how it's gone for you so far?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just frustrated on a bigger level. Just want to come through for the team and play well, and obviously I've been through ruts in my career and gone through ups and downs, and worse than what I'm on right now. But just frustrated for the fans, frustrated for my team. Even that last moment right there against Beeks, just not coming through, just super frustrated for that. So just want to play better, got to play better, take better at bats and all that kind of stuff. So just got to be a better ball player.
What do you feel like is not working for you right now?
I don't know.
I feel like did you feel more on time today? You talked about that the other day, like maybe not feeling it.
Yeah, no, I mean, I felt good. I mean, it's just, swinging the pitches out of the zone. It's like Shelby right there in the last inning, or in the, 9th inning or whatever it was. It's only 2 pitches out of the zone. So just got to cut down on that.
I think in St. Louis a while back you talked about, sort of being a week into a stretch where you felt like you were sort of 10 days off. I mean, do you where do you feel like you're at right now, just in terms of where you want to be and, catching that hot streak?
Yeah, I mean, obviously I'm not where I want to be. Like I said, I mean, I've gone through stretches like this in my career. It's going to happen. I'll come back out of it and be totally fine. But it's just a frustrating moment, just not being able to come through and, realizing I got to be better for my teammates and the fans, and they expect that. This organization expects that. So, I think I hold myself to a really high standard, and my teammates do as well, and everybody else. So I gotta be better.
Thanks, Brett.
Cool.